In this video, I'll show you how to add a table of contents to a Word document. Table of contents is really important for any Word document as it allows you to quickly access and navigate through the entire Word document and also gives you a nice place to understand what's in a document as well. It'll also enable users a quick access link to go to a particular section in a Word document as well. So, as you can see on the page, I have an entire podcasting guide that I've created and I want to add a table of contents to so users can quickly navigate through this Word doc. So how do I do this? Well, first of all, I'm going to want to work out what sections need broken up to, and as you can see for me, I do have different sections that I have done. However, I don't have one for this welcome guide, so let's start that now. It's really important to break these down into headings. So here I've navigated to my home ribbon, selected styles, and now I'm going to select a heading. Table of contents works on different levels of heading, so a heading 1 will have a higher priority than a heading 2, and so on. So we can break this down into sort of more generalized categories. Now if I scroll down my page, you can see that I have done these for the different sections. So we've got welcome, section 1, section 2, and section 3. So now that I've actually put sort of my headings together and I know what content's got to sit where, let's actually think about now creating the table of contents. So what I'm going to do is I want this section 1 to be on its own page so we can move the table of contents into its position now. So what I'm going to do is select insert, and I can create a blank page which I can just have the table of contents on, but for this particular one I'm going to use page break, which just moves that section 1 onto a new page on its own. And then I'm going to scroll up to its previous position. Now I want to place my table of contents in this location, so you can see that I have my blinking cursor just in the section, and I'm going to navigate to references. In the reference ribbon, I'm going to select table of contents, and then I get to choose what table of contents that I want. I would recommend choosing either automatic table 1 or 2, but you can create your own. These are very similar, it's just slightly different wording on the table of contents itself. And as you can see, that's placed nicely underneath my welcome section, and I can see the different categories. Now, I do have some different headings set, so you can see that underneath section 2, we do have some different headings that link straight from that table of contents. But if I wanted to create some new titles and some new headings, all I need to do is select a piece of text or type in a new text and then create that as a heading. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are different levels, so if I set some of these to level 2, so I'm going to scroll down and you can see I'm going to select scheduled releases, episodic titles, and podcasting formats. These all belong in section 2, but I want them to have their own little subheadings, so I'm just going to highlight these as headings 2, and I can go on and break things down even more into different headings if I want. But if I just want to quickly update my table of contents, I simply scroll up, select update table when pressing on the table of contents, and update entire table, and as you can see, those headings are now reflected back into my table of contents. And that's how you add a table of contents. Now for users and yourself, if you want to navigate through your content from your contents table, simply hold the control key on the keyboard and left click to follow through to that section.